Did you know that there is about 5 common reasons why people quit their twin flame journey? Let's go ahead and jump into those 5 together and get clear on how to overcome them. And all 5 of these I have personally moved through in my own union and in my own journey to really getting to know who my true twin flame is. And I can tell you right now, when I tried to do this alone, it was incredibly difficult. But when I really allowed myself to receive the support that I needed in order to move through this journey, I found that my twin flame journey and union is by far the most beautiful gift that I have received. And so I really encourage you that if you're trying to do this alone and by yourself, that you don't have to. And so let's go ahead and jump into the reasons why you might be considering quitting your twin flame journey. The first reason is that your twin flame is with someone else or that they just don't want to commit to you. Now, this can feel incredibly difficult. It can feel heartbreaking. It can bring up a lot of feelings around rejection, not feeling good enough, not feeling worthy of having all the desires that you want. But in truth, what your twin flame is actually mirroring to you by being with someone else or maybe not committing to you is that somewhere you believe that you are not enough or that you are not worthy of having the love and the relationship that you desire to have. And in truth, you are absolutely enough right now, and you are deserving of the relationship that you desire. And so your twin flame's ultimate job is to unconditionally love you by pointing out places to you within your consciousness where you're out of alignment with love. If there's a belief that there's someone who is better than you, or that other people are chosen before you, or that you're just not chosen, or that you're not enough, or you never get what it is that you desire, this situation is manifested to show you that this is a belief that you hold in your heart, in your subconscious mind, and it's coming up so that you can make a new choice there and heal this choice with unconditional love. So when I moved through this with my twin flame, at the beginning of our union, there was a third party. And I was so mad because I was really believing that I didn't have to move through the situation within my union. But I did have to look at what it brought up for me. And it brought up some insecurities that I had had prior to even knowing who my true twin flame was. These were insecurities that I had in my consciousness all along. And so, of course, my ultimate lover, my twin flame, is going to mirror this to me by the situation of a third party. So what did I do? I went into my feelings and I healed it using the mirror exercise. I asked myself, how does this make me feel? And it made me feel not enough, not worthy, not deserving. And then I gave myself all of the love and all that I needed in that space. And then I made a choice. I chose that I only desired God, myself, and my twin flame. And I chose to dissolve all third-party energy within my heart. That meant that nothing could come in between me and my twin flame, that nothing can separate us. And ultimately, my twin flame was about to go to another country to see this third party. And within that week, he made the choice, or there was divine intervention, whatever you want to call it. God took care of it. And he did not go to the other country, and we decided to start exploring our connection. And we have been exploring our connection ever since, and now we're in union. So know that you can heal and dissolve any third-party situation, and that you can ultimately receive commitment because you're choosing to commit to loving yourself fully. So that is usually the first reason why most people will quit their twin flame journey, and I highly encourage you not to give up, because you can heal that upset within your union. The second reason why people will choose to quit their twin flame journey is because you are chasing your twin flame and they are not chasing you. So ultimately, you're putting in all the effort, you're pursuing, you're texting, you're calling, you're planning dates, you're doing all this. I am guilty. I've done this too. However, that does not fix this problem within your union. If you're doing all of the chasing and you feel drained by it, there is an imbalance within your union. And all of the love that you're trying to pour onto your twin flame, all of the attention, all of the reassurance that you're trying to get from your twin flame, is now time to put that all back onto yourself. When I really started to stop the chasing energy and recognize that there's actually no chaser runner dynamic, there's just running. I was running from giving myself the love by trying to put it onto my twin flame, and my twin flame was running from me because I was trying to put all of my love onto him. When I stopped doing that and it really redirected all of that energy back onto myself, we came back into balance. And then he started reaching out and calling and texting and asking what I was up to, because he could feel that all of my energy was being brought back to me instead of projected out to him. That's actually what happens when you're chasing someone, is you're going this way and they're having to go the opposite direction. But when you come back into balance with yourself, so do they. They're your perfect mirror. When you allow yourself to really put all that love and attention onto you, you will find that that perfect mirror will put all of that love and attention back onto you as well. So I invite you to look at, are you chasing? And that could be that you're excessively thinking about them all day long. Now, don't get me wrong. I think about my twin flame all day long as well. But it's not like this lack, or I need him to be here, or I wish that he was here, or I miss him. It's more of like I think of him and I pray over him, or I imagine him receiving all of the love that he needs and sending him love. And then I go back to what I'm doing and putting all that focus and energy back on myself. And the more that I have done that and really relaxed into that, the more that I literally see my twin flame, if not every day, but maybe every other day. But that's even not even where we're at right now. We're at seeing each other every day, where we went from seeing each other to maybe once a month. That was because I really had to bring all of my energy back onto me, because I am number one priority in my life. And my twin flame is one with me. So when I focus on me and love me, I'm actually focusing and loving on my twin flame, because we're one. So there's no need to put your energy out onto them and chase them. It's really important that you bring it all back to yourself. The third reason why people will think about quitting their twin flame journey, and that is because it is too hard and you find yourself blaming your twin flame. And so I also did this, where I was like, we're not in a relationship because he needs to heal this and he needs to do that and he needs to show up this way. Remember, you're one with your twin flame. You're one divine being, and you are each other's perfect mirror. So if your twin flame, coming back to number one, isn't committing to you, it's because they're reflecting to you where you're not committing to yourself. And this can feel really hard when you're trying to put or get commitment from someone else, but not giving yourself the commitment that you desire from them. It's not appropriate to try to get something from your twin flame that you're not already giving to yourself. And so when you're already giving to yourself, you'll find that it's reflected back to you by your ultimate lover, by your twin flame, your divine counterpart. And you'll find that it actually becomes very easy because you're learning to give it to yourself instead of waiting for it and waiting to get it from outside of yourself. One of the things that I received from my guru, Shalia, was that when she wanted something from her twin flame, Jeff, she went to God. And she would just imagine God giving her what it was that she wanted from her twin flame. And then very quickly after, her twin flame would give it to her, because it's God moving through your twin flame to love you. And so I tested this theory, and I found that that is absolutely true. There would be times where I wanted affection or love from my twin flame. And instead of being needy and asking for it, which I'm sure if I would have asked, he probably would have said yes. But sometimes he jokingly looks at me and he's like, no. And so I will give it to myself, or I'll ask God. And I tested this out the other day where I wanted loves and cuddles. So I just imagined God loving me and cuddling me. And I kid you not, in less than like 3 seconds, my twin flame just throws his arm over me and cuddles me. And it was really sweet. But I realized that I didn't need to go get it from him, that I could give it to myself, and naturally he'll give that to me because he is my divine counterpart. He is my ultimate mirror. So if you find that it's too hard and that you're blaming them, I invite you to really learn the mirror exercise, because when you do step 2, it helps reflect it back to you and where maybe you're doing those things to yourself and how to heal them by unconditionally loving yourself there. And with your true twin flame, you will see that mirrored back to you. Number 4, on why you might think about quitting your twin flame journey. It's because your union has become toxic. And I hear this a lot when people look up twin flames. I did this too. The first time I looked up the term twin flame, I was like, I do not want to be a twin flame, because I'm not trying to have someone bring up all my deepest, darkest insecurities and all of my fears and all my patterns that I picked up from childhood just so that I can heal them. I wasn't about it. But ultimately, it's because I didn't have this work that I have now, which is the mirror exercise. I'm working with my ascension coach. And when I have both of those, moving through the things that are being brought up that are actually toxic patterns that I picked up from childhood is much easier to move through. And it actually allowed me to start making healthier choices and really making healthier patterns in my life. And guess who reflects those back to me? My twin flame. So if you find that your union has become toxic, it's because they're ultimately pointing out where you are running a toxic pattern within your consciousness. Now remember, you are not your pattern and you are not your upset. It's just coming up through you to be healed. And so if you can really focus on not attaching to the upset or the pattern and taking it personally, which is a little bit easier said than done, I know, you will find that it'll be easier to recognize the pattern, where it came from, ultimately probably a parent or somewhere just in your childhood, and you can make a choice to let go of that old pattern that does not align with your union and choose a new pattern that does align with your union, that is in alignment with love. And you will find that your union is actually the healthiest, most loving, and safest place that you could be. Your union is meant for you to thrive. And so when you really honor your union by honoring yourself and letting go of the patterns and the habits that no longer serve you, you will see that reflected back to you by your twin flame. And then last but not least, the 5th reason why people quit their twin flame journey is because they don't know who their twin flame is. And I moved through this quite a bit as well. I moved through a false twin flame situation, and I really had a hard time with moving through that process because it felt really bad. I remember getting to a point where I'm like, dear God, please do not let this person be my twin flame. And ultimately, that person was a catalyst to helping me come into union with my true twin flame. And even when I did learn who my true twin flame was, there was still a moment where I was like, dear God, please don't let this be my true twin flame. But that was ultimately because I still had upsets with this person. And I had to allow myself to heal the upset at the core. And the more that I healed, the more that I actually grew attraction, just this natural organic attraction towards my twin flame. And my heart, the best way that I can explain it, I don't know if you guys have watched the movie The Grinch Who Stole Christmas with Jim Carrey. And there's like this moment where they talk about his heart growing 2 sizes, and then he's like, what are these feelings? Yeah, that's exactly what I experienced. I was like, what are these feelings? What is this that's coming up in me? And it was ultimately when I got to really know myself and got to know who I truly am at the core, beyond my patterns, beyond all of the things that I thought I knew about myself, really getting to know who I am and what I desire and what I want and what I love and what really makes me me. I was able to really start to see this person clearly because I saw myself clearly. And what I noticed about my twin flame at the time was this man is doing his inner work. He's reflecting, he's healing. And ironically, he's moving through the same patterns and upsets that I'm moving through. It looks a little different on the outside, but the core thing that we were moving through was exactly the same. And I found it attractive that he was moving through it. Well, it's because I was moving through it. I was doing my inner work. And so know that when you do your inner work, Your twin flame, who is your perfect mirror, is also doing their inner work. It might look a little different on the outside, but in truth, they're reflecting, they're healing, they're moving through it too, because you are. You're one consciousness. So once I really asked God to show me who my true twin flame was, he kept redirecting me back to this person. And I have to tell you, y'all, I had resistance for almost an entire year. I was like, nope, I won't look at it. Nope, that's not him. Nope, I won't have it. And finally, I surrendered and I told God, this is what I desire in my twin flame. And if someone is truly my twin flame, you will give me these specific signs. And I think I said something along the line like, my twin flame would want to take me on a weekend trip so that we get to know each other one-on-one, and that he will court me and pursue me, and it will look like this, this, and this. And I was very lighthearted about it, but I gave it to God. And I kid you not, probably 24 hours later, my twin flame asked me to go on a weekend trip with him, and he took care of the whole thing. He planned it. He courted me. He did all these beautiful things. And then we went on this trip. It was amazing. Even on the trip, I was still like, I don't know, this is my twin flame. And then it wasn't until we had our first upset. And on my love list, which is very important on how to get clear on who your twin flame is, true twin flame is, my love list said something along the lines of, my true twin flame is open to moving through any and all upsets that we have in our consciousness. And so we had our first upset. I started to heal it within my heart. And then he looked at me and said, if I have upset you, please let me know so that I can work through it with you, because you're not meant to work through these upsets alone. And I was like, wow, okay, this might actually be my twin flame. So as we went deeper, we got really clear that this was my true twin flame and that I could relax into my union. And that felt really great. So know that it's super important that you do not give up on your union. Do not give up on your twin flame, because it is the most precious and best gift that you can receive if you approach this correctly. If you truly receive the support that is here for you, it can really be easy and it can be very simple. So definitely check out twinflamesuniverse.com. You'll find ascension coaches there that are already prepared to help you move through anything and everything that comes up in your union, so that you can come into harmonious union with your true love. I hope this video was helpful. Don't forget to like and subscribe. I will see you guys soon. Bye-bye.